Hi, thank you for deciding to watch this video and evaluate my assignment on human factors in AI. The case study I'm presenting is on personalization that can be utilized by a newspaper or a media application. The task in front of us is to uh, develop a recommendation system for a newspaper, and the key task associated with this problem is to develop a recommendation model that can generate personalized articles list for an individual user according to their preferences. It will definitely have a positive impact on the user experience because upfront on the home page we can develop a for you section which will have the list of the articles that are most relevant to the user, and this will upfront show the articles they're most interested in, so it will definitely positively impact the user experience. The way to interact with this proposed solution is to go to the home page and see this for you section, which will have the catered news articles that are relevant to an individual user. And the way the most relevant news to an individual user would be on the top of the for you section. What it means is that the list will be ordered in terms of the relevancy. So the user input is very important because recommendation model will use user analytics to understand what kind of articles user interacts with, what kind of articles they click on, they read on, how much time they spend on reading the articles, and if they click on a video, if they read the summary, if they scroll down to the end of the article. All these interactions, the user analytics will be considered to understand the relevancy of an article or the understanding the preferences of an individual user. The feedback loop is very important. Once we have catered those articles on the for you page, on the for you section, it's important that a feedback loop is considered. If the user is clicking certain articles and not clicking certain articles from that list, that feedback loop should be able to feedback and improve the recommendation model by understanding the user preferences more and more with more interactions. Transparency of the model is very important, and I think there should be a disclaimer that this section is generated by AI by understanding their individual preferences. Communicating uncertainty in this specific case is not very relevant because the system is designed such a case that if there is not high relevancy scores for individual users, which can be the case when user is a new user, when we have not collected much information, enough data for the recommendation model to generate preferences. In that case, we can show the most popular articles in general for the newspaper in that for you section. So in case of uncertainty and when there is not much relevant news, we can show the most popular articles. So it's not gonna impact the user experience in a very negative way, and as soon as we start collecting more information about them, we can start showing more relevant data. Privacy considerations are very high for this, and it depends on where the user is reading this newspaper. In Europe, the GDPR laws are very strict. In Canada, Quebec has certain specific need considerations for privacy, and users should be able to give consent or should be able to decline the consent for collecting information that is used in recommendation model. And similar is the case with certain states in the United States. But irrespective of the laws, there should be a way for the users to be able to decline the consent for them to collect their data and their data analytics. There could be some users who do not want to personalized news, and they don't want to share their data or their data to be processed. In that case, they should have an option to decline to this feature, and that could be through website, a web form, or a call center as well. Ethical considerations are very high, so the kind of bias we anticipate for this model can be in the data collection phase. When we are collecting data, it should be fair and should be collected equally for each kind of user, irrespective of their gender and geographical and any other kind of factors. For the ethical use, there has to be fair, there has to be accountability, and this model should be transparent. So for fairness, it has to be individual as well as group fairness. For accountability, I believe that it should be the responsibility of data team to collect data fairly, and then digital team to be able to process and showcase the recommendation model list in a fair way to each user, and there should be a certain level of transparency in terms of interpretability, that if a user asks why I'm seeing certain articles, the model should be easily interpretable and we should be able to understand why the system was generating certain articles. Thank you.